Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about failure. Not the kind that comes from a single mistake, a missed opportunity, or a wrong decision. No, I mean, success, as we often define it, is a mirage. We chase after it, thinking it will bring fulfillment, but when we arrive, we only find another horizon stretching before us. The world has conditioned us to believe that success is a destination of wealth, fame, achievement. But true success isn't about reaching an end, it's about embracing the journey itself. The reason many don't succeed is that they've been given the wrong map, one that leads them away from themselves. From the moment we begin to understand the world, we are taught to seek something outside of ourselves. We are handed a script, one that tells us what it means to be successful. Study hard, get good grades, secure a prestigious job, accumulate wealth, gain recognition. We are told that these things will bring happiness, that they will make us feel whole. And so, we set out on this path, believing that at some distant point, once we've checked off all the right boxes, we will finally feel complete. But what happens when we get there? There is an unsettling truth that many who make it come to realize a success, as society defines it, is insatiable. No matter how much you achieve, the goalpost keeps moving. You climb the mountain, only to see another peak in the distance. The promotion you worked for suddenly feels insufficient. Now you need a bigger title, a higher salary. The validation from others that once felt satisfying fades quickly, and you find yourself craving more. It's a race without a finish line, and those who run it tirelessly often end up exhausted, disillusioned, wondering why they still feel empty despite having everything they were told would make them happy. The problem isn't effort, nor is it ambition. The problem is direction. Most people spend their lives chasing an idea of success that was never truly their own. They follow the road laid out before them, never stopping to ask, is this even my path? They climb the corporate ladder only to realize it was leaning against the wrong wall. They seek validation from the world but neglect the quiet voice within that whispers of something deeper, something more real. Success, in its truest form, cannot be measured by external achievements. It is not about acquiring things or reaching a certain status. It is about alignment, being in tune with who you are, living in a way that feels authentic to you. Those who truly succeed are not the ones who have the most, but the ones who are at peace with their journey. They are not fixated on a destination, they are fully engaged in the present, finding meaning in the process rather than the outcome. Yet, this is where most people struggle. They resist the idea that success isn't about reaching a point, but about how they move through life. They fear letting go of the conventional path because it offers security, validation, a sense of certainty. But what they fail to realize is that true fulfillment does not come from certainty, it comes from trust. Trust in oneself, trust in the process, trust that life has its own rhythm, one that does not need to be forced or controlled. The irony is that the more we chase success, the further we seem to drift from it. The tighter we grip, the more it slips through our fingers. It is only when we stop running, when we stop seeking approval, when we stop defining ourselves by external markers, that we truly begin to understand what success actually means. It is not about how much we achieve, but about how deeply we live. It is not about conquering the world, but about understanding ourselves. So if you feel like you are not succeeding, ask yourself, whose map are you following? Are you chasing someone else's version of success, or are you walking a path that feels true to you? The world will always try to convince you that success is out there, waiting to be claimed. But the truth is, it has been within you all along. You don't need to arrive somewhere to be successful. You only need to realize that you are already on the journey. Most people believe that success is about intelligence, talent, or sheer effort. They assume that those who succeed are simply more capable, more gifted, or more hardworking. But if that were true, then why do so many intelligent and talented people remain stuck, never quite reaching their potential? The real reason most people don't succeed isn't a lack of ability, it's fear. Specifically, the fear of failure. It is a quiet but powerful force that keeps people from taking risks, from stepping outside their comfort zones, and from truly pushing the limits of their potential. Failure, as we've been conditioned to see it, is something to be avoided at all costs. From childhood, we are taught that mistakes are shameful. A wrong answer in class is met with embarrassment, a low grade with disappointment, and any deviation from the expected path with disapproval. We internalize this fear early, and by the time we reach adulthood, it has become second nature. The fear of failure disguises itself as perfectionism, hesitation, procrastination, or even cynicism. Instead of taking bold steps forward, we wait for the right time, we overanalyze, we convince ourselves that we are not ready. But the truth is, what we are really afraid of is not failure itself, but what failure represents are the possibility that we are not good enough, not worthy enough, not capable enough. And so, rather than risking failure, most people choose safety. They stay in jobs they hate, relationships that don't fulfill them, and routines that feel stagnant, all because the unknown seems more terrifying than the discomfort of staying where they are. They tell themselves that they are being practical, responsible, realistic. But deep down, they know that the real reason they are not moving forward is fear. And here's the paradox: in trying so hard to avoid failure, they are failing in the most important way. Are failing to live fully. The irony is that every successful person, every innovator, every leader has failed, often more times than they have succeeded. The difference is that they do not see failure as an end, but as a beginning. They do not run from it, they embrace it. They understand that failure is not a reflection of their worth, but a necessary step toward growth. Each setback, each mistake, each disappointment carries within it a lesson, a refinement, a sharpening of skill and character. It is through failure that people become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Consider how a child learns to walk. They stumble, they fall, they bruise their knees, and yet, they keep going. They do not see falling as failure, they see it as part of the process. And because they do not give up, they succeed. But somewhere along the